We're just going to start out with the drawing and keep it as simple as you want. If you want to go more elaborate, you can. I like to keep them simple sometimes. So we're just kind of doing just the outer edge of like a bell shape. And keep in mind, you don't want to go too large, because I'm looking at it right now. It's like, oh, I've got this a bit on the large side. I'm going to leave it this way. So some of my petals might end up going off over the edge. So if you don't want it like that, you may want to shrink it down a little bit. Just kind of keep your proportions in mind as you're creating and making sure that things are actually going to fit how you want them to. So just a little bit like this, just kind of round it in a little bit. And then you could really start at any of them. I'm going to start at this little leaf here. And what I like with leaves, the way I like to do leaves, if they're the right shape or style, is almost make a heart. Because that's kind of how they are when you think about it. This one is closed, so it's not. I'm not like going to start it over here, because this is all part of, full. So just kind of bring it down there. So see, you have like a little heart shape. I don't know why this reminds me of a little butt cheeks, baby's butt, except they don't kind of, or a little fluffy tail of a squirrel. So the next one I want to do is right here. And you know what? Don't fuss about how they look. They're going to be perfect for you, no matter what. I sometimes get in that perfectionist stage and I freak out, and it's because they're not looking exactly like I think they should. Let that go. We're going to just let that go. So now we just kind of want to, this little, started to point at my other picture. Well, let me just bring it in here. This section here doesn't have to be super wavy or perfect or anything. We just want to do kind of like a little circle, or we're going to do the outer part first, just kind of a little circle, but with a little wave to it. So you could do kind of just like this. And I'll be honest, mine's a little wonky, and it's almost more of a D shape than a circle, but it's close enough. Then you just want to come in here and do the same thing on the inside, so you kind of get you can see how it just kind of does a little tube. And it doesn't have to close. You can just leave it open like that. Now, as I'm looking at it, I'm seeing I like the leaves. This isn't too bad. This is actually a little longer than I probably need it to be. I'm going to leave it as is, but just you can kind of see why you want to keep your proportions kind of in check in your mind. So this base of the flower is actually a little large for my these petals here. We're going to leave it though and just work with it, because you know what? That's just life. Sometimes things aren't always perfect. So now I'm just going to pull up another little leaf here. And then just kind of do the same here. Yeah, we want to put this little guy down here. And you can see, this one started out as a heart. The rest aren't really like hearts. They've just kind of got the little, I guess you could say, kind of a little teardroppy style going. And we're going to pull this one. I think I want to go from this direction. We're just going to pull it around. I could probably put another one right here, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to leave it like this. So then the other thing we want to do is put in a nice little stem, and it doesn't have to be very long or very curved. Just take a couple of little lines. And it's okay if it gets a little fatter towards the end, because you think about it, it usually is a little stiffer, a little thicker, you know. Now you want your leaf. Like I said, my leaves, I see how people draw them. Mine, I try. They always come out pretty much the same way. So I just kind of leave them. I leave them. I leave them be. Oh my God, that's such a dad joke. Oh my goodness. Then just the little lines here. So there you have the base of your flower. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, as much as I like this little leaf, I think I may make it a little bit bigger. Let me first see. Because of my supplies are limited, I need to see how my eraser works on this first. And I'm using this is a kneadable eraser. I forgot about kneadable erasers. My daughter had it in her supply from when she was taking an art class at school. And what's nice about these is, let's see how it does here. Oh yeah, it does really good on this paper. What's nice about them is the fact that, if you notice, it like eats up the pencil marks. So if you're used to, when you're erasing, that you got to then brush off, you know, the little pieces of eraser that have rubbed off, you know, or the little bits of paper. Well, one, it doesn't chew up the paper. Oh, excuse me. Lunch was starting to say, that was yummy. But the kneadable erasers, what's nice is you can just kind of move them up into whatever shape you need. So like if you needed to do just a tiny thin bit of erasing, look at this. I put it into a little point like that sometimes, and just ever so delicately are able to erase just tiny bits of a line. From my pencil, tiny bits of lead. So that's what I love about these. I mean, you can take them even smaller, but anyways, I'm kind of getting off the subject here now. Let's come back and create this leaf, or this petal. All right, so see, she's much bigger now. Pull this guy out. So yes, this kneadable eraser has become my best friend lately. I'm really loving it. Yeah, I think we'll just leave that one. I just wanted it just a hair bigger. It just didn't feel right the way it was. Oh, we got to put in our little, I think they're called stamens. You know what? I'm not really good with the parts of the flower. I listened in biology, but not really well. I mean, I love science, but that was a long time ago too, so I don't really remember all the terminology. I think there were pistons and stamens and I don't know, different little body parts in the plants. We just want to get those in there. So we've got our flower, and I think we're going to focus on the flower first and then do the bee because, you know, we're going to be moving our arms around in here, and especially if you're using markers, and if you ever watch any of my videos, you know I tend to get paint all over me, even with markers. I found when I did my prototype, I was getting ink on me and smearing it along, so I'd rather do the bee after we've got the base of this done. We don't have to have the words all written in, but at least the base colors, and then we'll do the bee next. All right, so we want to use a variety of yellows, and you know, look in your supply, see what you have. You may have watercolors, may have paints. And if you have paints available and you want to use the paints, go for it. Like I said, I'm just using what I have in stock because everything else is packed.